Peace, family. Peace. So I'm sitting here watching the Brexit fiasco go down the way it's going down, and I had to ask myself a question. If an African country was to be going on with the exact same things that is currently going on in the UK regarding Brexit, would that African country be reported as being corrupt? Would they have a corrupt government? You see, if an African country, a democratic one, put the vote to the people democratically, and the votes went through and they were counted, and the majority won, then the motion needs to go through. However, in the UK, in a democratic country, the votes have been counted a few years ago now, and still Brexit is still yet to go through. So I now have to ask myself a very simple question. Is the UK a democracy, or is it now a corrupt governmental country? Just like it would have been if it was an African country. So we report this. Give me an African country. And this happens. All over the news, all over the media, we would have stories of corruption. This government has not put through the will of the people. Look how corrupt this African government is. Yet and still, the UK can get away with this. Now, people can articulate points, they can come up with all kinds of excuses and all kinds of reasons as to why Brexit hasn't gone through yet. But the bottom line is, I thought we lived in a democracy. That's what I thought. What is slowly being revealed to us, all of us, is that we don't. We have the illusion of a democracy. If a vote can go through, the votes have been counted and the majority have won, then the motion must go through. All of this X, Y, and Z excuses, to me, is just excuses. Now, people say, oh, the people didn't actually know what they were voting for, so we need to vote again. Now, imagine that. Imagine an African country, the leader of an African country saying, oh, you know what? I know they won, but the people didn't actually know what they were voting for, so we have to vote again. Corrupt government! They will not put through the will of the people, yet and still the UK, they get away with it. And I just want to kind of, expose the hypocrisy of UK politics, because this is hypocrisy. Now, whether you are a Remainer or a Leaver is really not my concern. My concern is about democracy. We may not like the votes that happen. We may not like the outcome. Politicians are now saying, oh, because this is going to happen if Brexit happens, that is going to happen if Brexit happens, and this is going to happen if Brexit happens. No, so now what you're telling me is you weren't prepared for Brexit. Now, if something is on the table, if there is an option that's on the table, you as the government, you are the politicians, you are supposed to work out strategies and plans for either outcome. That's your job. That's what you're paid to do. If it happens, this is what's going to happen. Cool. If it doesn't happen, this is what's going to happen. That's your job. What you are now saying to me is that you're a bunch of idiots who weren't prepared for the people to actually vote. And we're now supposed to put our trust in you as our government. People say, oh, but they lied. Hang on a minute. Last time I checked, politicians have been lying since the beginning of time. Oh no, they lied to the people. They lied to the people about what Brexit was, about what leaving would mean. And hang on a minute, isn't that politics? Isn't that modern day politics? Are we not used to politicians lying? Now all of a sudden, everyone says, oh no, it's not good to lie. But as far as I know, politicians have been lying since the beginning of time. The bottom line is this, people. We either live in a democracy or we don't. It's either Brexit or it isn't. But don't sprinkle sugar on shit to me and try and sell it as a cake. If we live in a dictatorship, then say so. If we live in a democracy, then it must be Brexit.